Are you starting your career in the GDP area, or pharmaceutical company, a transport or storage service provider, or a wholesaler? Are you working in another department and have points of contact with good distribution practices? Are you the person responsible for pharmaceutical wholesale in your company? In this video, I briefly explain what good distribution practice is and why it is so important. Hello and welcome to this learning nugget from the Forum Institute for Management. I'm Dr. Stefan Lakonik, an auditor and consultant in the GMP and GDP environment. What is good distribution practice? It refers to the quality management system for the wholesale distribution of medicinal products. It is a set of guidelines and standards that ensure the proper distribution of pharmaceutical products from the manufacturer to the end user, the patient, maintaining the quality, safety, and efficacy of the product throughout the supply chain. But why do we have to follow GDP requirements? It is necessary to ensure that patients receive pharmaceutical products that meet the required quality standards and help our patients and their health. GDP combines requirements for good manufacturing practice, good distribution practices, and requirements for the quality and integrity of the products to help patient safety. What are the reasons behind following GDP? First of all, it's patient safety, public health concerns, but it's also an economic impact, regulatory compliance, the fear to loss of trust and reputation for your company, product recall costs, and supply chain disruptions. Let's go into the topics of the e-learning. In the e-learning GDP basic training, we will explore the critical aspects of good distribution practice in the pharmaceutical industry, providing you with a comprehensive understanding of the key principles and practices. The first chapter is what is GDP? An introduction to the principles of good distribution practices will be given in this chapter. We will introduce the fundamental principles, explaining how they ensure the quality and integrity of pharmaceutical products throughout the supply chain. In Chapter 2, Why GDP?, we will discuss the importance of good distribution practices in the pharmaceutical industry, focusing on the complexities and risks within the supply chain that can affect product safety and efficacy. In Chapter 3, From Regulation to Implementation, Quality Management, we will explore how regulatory requirements for GDP are translated into effective quality management systems that ensure compliance and maintain high standards in distribution and storage. In Chapter 4, GDP in Practice, we will discuss storage requirements. We will take a look into the specific storage requirements under GDP, highlighting how proper storage conditions are essential for maintaining product quality. In Chapter 5, Handling Goods, Incoming and Picking, we cover best practices for handling goods, including the procedures for receiving incoming materials and picking them for distribution, ensuring compliance with GDP. In Chapter 6, we are going to take a look at transport. We will examine the critical requirements for transportation, focusing on how to prevent temperature excursions, contamination, and physical damage during transport. In Chapter 7, Qualification and Validation, we will take a closer look on the process for qualifying and validating storage facilities, vehicles, and transport methods to ensure they meet the GDP standards. In Chapter 8, Special Situations, we will briefly discuss complaints, returns, counterfeit products, and drug recalls. We will address how to manage these special situations under GDP. In the final chapter, number 9, we will discuss life cycle supplier management for logistics and distribution. This chapter will focus on the importance of effective supplier management throughout the logistic and distribution life cycle, ensuring ongoing compliance with GDP requirements. Each of these chapters will provide you with the knowledge and tools needed to understand and apply GDP principles effectively in your role. Let's begin our journey into the world of good distribution practices. If this has sparked your interest and you would like to learn all the basics about good distribution practice, GDP, the experts at Forum Institute and I have created this e-learning for you. We see each other in the e-learning program.